Hi Sunshine Sparkle Faces, it's me, Mother Sparkles. So story time, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit more information about my background and where I came from. Especially I want to talk about family and how I came about being myself kind of. So my parents were very strict. They're very traditional, very old school. We had a timer that was connected to the internet router. So every time at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the internet would shut off like automatically. And it was in the room, and the rooms were always locked, so we couldn't like go into the room and like turn on the router or anything. So, we had a time limit on the internet. We weren't exposed to that. We weren't allowed to go out. We weren't allowed to participate in any extracurricular activities in school. No sports. It was you go to school and you come home, no one's business kind of situation. So I don't know, it was a little bit rough because I wanted to like join sports. I wanted to participate in like acting classes. Overall, it was really hard to be social with people in school. Not that I really wanted to. Like high school was kind of like ugh for me, like haters and stuff. But my dad was the more strict parent, and it was no tattoos, no piercings, no hair dye, nothing. Like I felt like I was in a military base, and I was like done. I talk to my real father now, and he's like, why didn't you tell me how you felt back then? And I couldn't really tell him how I felt because he was just so strict. It's easy that we're older now and you're here and we're in this situation now that you bring it up. But let's face it, back then there's no way in hell that I could be like, oh, by the way, I feel like a woman. He would have destroyed me in half. So then when I was around 17 or 16 years old, I don't remember, my parents separated, and I was a little bit torn, and I was obviously sad that my family was being torn apart. I was devastated, and so was my family. But looking back now, if my parents didn't separate, I feel like I would not be where I am today. I probably would have killed myself by now, because there's no way in hell that my father would have let me transition or become gay. So there's no way. With that being said, I think it's a little bit bittersweet, but almost a blessings in disguise. I mean, my father wasn't, I don't want to say he's not the greatest man. Obviously, he gave life to me and he's an amazing man, but I feel like we're not on the same page. Like he's very old school and he's not up to date. Like my stepfather, I love him and I consider him as my real father. He's just so inspiring and he just has so much to give, and he's so loving, he's so supportive, he's so caring. I don't know, I was so fearful that my mom would find another man and he'd be like, ew, that's your child, like that's kind of a freak. But no, this man is so amazing. He treats me like a woman. I remember this one time when I first started transitioning, and my mom had her friends over and she was kind of like ashamed and embarrassed that she had a transgender daughter. So every time I wanted to leave the house, I couldn't leave the house because the living room was right beside the front door, and there's no way to get out. So I had to climb out. This is kind of sad, but I had to climb out of my window to leave the house. My mom would say, climb out the window. I don't want my friends seeing you the way that you are. And I remember this one time my stepdad came into my room. He's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you climbing out the window? And by this time he was helping me. Like he had to help me get out the window. And he was telling me, he's like, you don't have to be ashamed. You don't have to be embarrassed. Who cares what they think? Just walk out the front door. And that made me so happy. Like I just couldn't believe it. Like this Vietnamese man was so supportive and so caring, more caring than my own mom and dad. So I love him a lot. I treat him like my real father. He's just amazing. I don't want to be disrespectful and say, I'm glad that my parents broke up. Is that okay to say? I don't know. Like it wasn't a healthy relationship. It wasn't healthy for our family. Everyone was in distress. It was just a horrible, this is so horrible. I feel like I'm gonna go to hell for this, but it's almost bittersweet, to be honest. It's almost like a blessing in disguise. My mom is so much more happier. I'm sure that he's happier. And, I'm so happy that I get to be me. Because if I was still under the care of my real father, there's no way in hell that I would ever transition or be able to. after they separated, things got so much more easier because the strict parent was out of the picture and things were so much better. Everything was put at ease. You know, we could dye our hair, we could get piercings, and we could be ourselves, but slowly be ourselves, if you know what I mean. Like, I did battle it with my mom. Like, we had like arguments and stuff because I was transitioning. It was definitely hard for her, but it definitely takes some time. Now she's like the biggest support net that I have. She's so amazing. It's really funny because over the weekend I went to visit my family and she's like, Julie, come into my room, try on some of these dresses that I have, that I just bought. So I went into the room, we closed the door, and we're like, she's like, let me see. She's like, let me see your boobs. So I showed her. She's like, that's it? I was like, oh my God, yes, Mom, that's it. And then she offered to help pay for my breast augmentation. I was like, no, Mom, you take care of yourself, and the children, I'll take care of myself. Thank you, though. She's a very sweet woman. So then we tried on some dresses, and then I tried on this purple one. Oh my God, it looks so good on me. She's like, have it, take it. Yeah, we like share the same clothes. We're like basically the same size. I'm just in the family mood. I just wanted to share a little bit about my history, my background, so you guys get a better understanding of Princess Jules today. But that is all. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I will see you guys very soon. Bye. Mwah.